Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So this is not our 10-minute yoga series. This is going to be our yoga tip Tuesday. I'm trying to share a lot of yoga lately. It's something that I need, and I always share when I'm in need of something with everybody else, because obviously we're all humans. We're all here together. So if it's of service to me, it's likely of service to you. But I've also gotten away from talking about yoga, and I want to get back into talking about yoga because it was so transformational to me. And it wasn't I hope you guys can hear that bird. It sounds so pretty. Anyways, it wasn't the physical poses on the mat that transformed me. It was everything else about yoga, the philosophy, the lessons and the teachings and things like that, which is really actual yoga. The stuff that you do in a class isn't real yoga, and it doesn't, I don't want to say pay tribute. I don't really know what the right wordage is, but it doesn't honor the people who brought us yoga, the people who created yoga, the people whose lives are based around yoga. It doesn't honor that. It doesn't honor them. And that is like a big thing. You've been hearing me talk about it and share it a lot lately about the cultural appropriation of yoga. And I don't want to make money or steal somebody's culture or their traditions from them. Like, I don't want to do that. That is not what yoga is to me. That is not the kind of person that I am. So I'm diving deep back into yoga myself, and I'm sharing it with you guys in honor to, or in a way to pay honor to, I can't speak today, the true tradition of yoga. Anyways, so the last time I did a Yoga Tip Tuesday, I shared with you guys a video of the 8 limbs of yoga. It was a talk that I did where I talked about how, like, the asanas, or the physical poses of yoga, is only like 1/8 of the 8 limbs of yoga. But I didn't really get into kind of the beforehand of that. So yoga, and I have some notes here, so you'll see me looking down because I want to make sure I cover everything. I'm trying to get it into that 10 minutes so I can also put it on my IGTV and put it on Facebook and put it everywhere so everybody can see it. In any case, yoga is traditionally one of 6 philosophies that's based on these ancient scriptures called the Vedas. And rather than it being some physical poses that we do on a mat in a gym, it's actually a way of life for most people. And this way of life, or this thought process, addresses so many things that a lot of major religions address, and even like Buddhism, because yoga gets a lot of its stuff from Buddhism, and Buddhism itself doesn't really consider itself a religion, but we do recognize it as one of the major world religions. And just a side note, as a caveat, I am in no way a expert on religion, but I have studied religion a lot, both formally in college and personally on my own. So I do know a lot about religion, but I'm no expert. So if I misspeak, please correct me and let me know, and I will address that. In any case, the philosophy of yoga, the thought process of yoga addresses the questions like, who am I? And what is the self? So not who am I as in like me personally. I'm a mom, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm an EMT, I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, I'm a girlfriend. Not that kind of self. Like the inside, you're like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? And as it addresses that, it gives us these practices, both physical, mental, emotional, and like philosophical, I guess, practices of the body and the mind to prepare you to go into this deeper thinking. Like the physical practices, for example, since the physical yoga is what everybody knows, the physical practice of yoga is not to make you more flexible. I mean, it kind of is, but really the physical practices of yoga, the asanas or the poses that we do on the mat, are supposed to prepare your body to be able to sit comfortably for a long period of time, to be able to sit and meditate. And the purpose of meditating is to get rid of the fluctuations of the mind and to help you calm your mind. I mean, they have a much better way of saying it than I do, but to speak in terms that we all understand now, to calm your mind and to help you stop having these knee-jerk reactions or these negative emotions so you can be at peace in this world full of suffering. In any case, this system of yoga comes from Patanjali, and it's considered royal yoga. Royal yoga is the yoga of light or yoga of enlightenment. It's Raha yoga, and Raha means light. So Patanjali wrote this book that we know as the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and it addresses things like mental pain, the causes of the pain, how to get rid of the pain, i.e. the 8 limbs of yoga, and the means for using yoga, not just the physical poses, but the whole of yoga, to get rid of this pain. And since this work requires concentration and sensitivity, the sutras in Patanjali's book covers all of that. It covers the physical and the mental practices for us to get to that one point or that center of concentration, that place of peace in our minds. Maybe you can understand now why, when I was, like as I said yesterday in my post, when I was suffering so much with depression and anxiety, why yoga helped me so much. And so it's not just this dogmatic, free-thinking philosophy. It's very structured. There's steps, and it's outlined completely for you of how to use yoga to get to this place of peace, for a lack of better explanation. Hatha yoga is, which is what I was formerly trained in, is what is very commonly seen. I mean, we do see Vinyasa yoga, Hatha yoga, Bikram yoga. What else is there? There's so many other different kinds of yoga. But the breathing and posture exercises in Hatha yoga is what we commonly know as yoga. You do breathing and physical poses. And that is considered to be a stepping stone towards Raha or royal yoga. And so if you are practicing Hatha yoga, then you should also study royal yoga, especially if you want to use the whole of yoga to make a real transformation in your life, or if you want to create a lifestyle out of yoga rather than just call yourself a yogi because you can do a handstand. And so following these philosophies and following Hatha yoga and royal yoga, reading the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and doing all that work is what we consider, and following the 8 limbs of yoga, that was something else that I wanted to say, is what will help us find that freedom from our pain and suffering and help us find peace within. And this is only achieved when you understand the true nature of yourself, which is what the goal of yoga is. So that's